To give you just a brief synopsis, the ASAP Foundation stands for the Always Strive to Prosper Foundation, which is in memorial of Stephen Rodriguez, who is also known as ASAP Yams, who passed away 6 years ago. And we wanted to be able to kind of take his passing and somehow commemorate it, but also commemorate the life that he lived, and also extend that experience to other people to be cautious in their use. We're not definitely here to really stigmatize anyone or stigmatize ourselves. Just be able to share and be open so that people can be safer in what they're doing. At the end of the day, there are a lot of things that are considered drugs or not considered drugs depending on who's using them or when they're using them. Whether it's nicotine or alcohol or sugar or cocaine or heroin, so it's not for us to really point fingers at each other or point fingers at ourselves, which actually makes us have another kind of burden. As Nico was just saying, it's that kind of feeling like you have to hide what you're doing or hide who you are. So in that aspect, that's primarily it. And then from here, we started giving out fentanyl test strips down kind of like in the Lower East Side, focusing Washington Heights Corner Project was our town, and we were just like, okay, I personally knew a lot of bartenders and club owners, and started trying to incubate from different places. At first a lot of people were saying, oh, we don't really, we don't have that crowd here, or I don't want to draw that attention. Not really understanding the wave that was coming, or understanding that there's really no way to insulate yourself from this, or insulate your patrons or your own families from this. So at this point, a place that might have been, that may have been to put one of these boxes in, as you can see here, we made it kind of translucent, and so it doesn't inhibit space, doesn't take up too much of a burden in this space, but it's there, and then keep it behind a bar, keep it somewhere else. So a lot of places that may have been going through 30 of them in 2 months are now going through maybe 30 in 3 days or 30 in a week. So, and it's different, what we did was try to amplify the messages of people that we're learning from and condense it and try and give a easier graphic or something digestible that someone can read through in 20 seconds or 30 seconds rather than 5 minutes and kind of like skip it and not really know how to use it. Inside we have an easy diagram. It tells you what it is, a fentanyl test strip. And then it has a 5-step process. First step being placing a small amount of whatever substance that you're testing, putting it into, putting it into a tin that we give you. So the tin is right here. It's in the case to make sure that it kind of stays clean in itself. And it's funny enough, people had a problem with the tins at first when we were giving it to certain spots. Like, oh, the tin, it's a cooking tin, it's this. No, this is, you can use this for whatever you want, But people like to stigmatize what other people are doing. So the tin is here, and let's say you had a pill, or let's say you had something else. Let's say if it was a pill, you might just take a piece of it, and you want to put it inside. So I'm using a candle wax right now, just demonstration, but pill, powder, if it's in a baggie, if it's in anything. And then you want to take, what we have in here is sterile water. Take the sterile water, twist the cap here. It's a 5 milliliter thing, so you can put enough in there. You also want to make sure that you don't want to be too cheap and too frugal with testing your drugs. So try and go into the bag or take a big chunk and try and actually test it and be as safe as possible. Then you go in here. This is the actual test strip. Open it up. It's a very skinny piece right here. You want to look at it. There's a very easy indicator without anything else. The wavy part, which are like wave lines, I don't know if anybody can see that, but you'll know when you open up the kit. That's the one that goes in the water. You put that in the water, and then you let it sit for, 2 to 5 minutes. Hopefully you can be patient in that time period, and then it'll basically come up, and it'll show you that you have. Here you put the liquid in. Now you're testing it 5 minutes, and then you're going to either get 2 red lines. One is usually bold, sometimes faint, which some people are like, oh, I don't really know what that is, but the faint line is still a double line. And then if there is no faint line, there is no second pink line, there is no second red line, that's a good chance, and it probably means there's fentanyl in whatever substance you're testing. So from that point, I would hope that anybody would make a safe decision to decide they're not going to use that and take the risk. A lot of times there are people that are looking for the drug with fentanyl in it, but they're probably not testing it, so to speak, and that's because of where we've come to in this time and just what's there. I don't judge that person as well, or that person and what they're doing with that, but hopefully just in all safe aspects, and also certain people don't have a certain tolerance to actually not use whatever it is, especially